'Tis that time, and kind of 'tis the season. We're a little bit shiny, we're a little bit sparkly.
Well, one of us is a little bit shiny. You're doing the whole New Year's Eve thing early.
Little
it's very
December.
pretty.
December, thank you.
It's November.
December 1st tomorrow,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so we haven't decorated the set yet, but it'll happen.
Oh, is that going to happen too?
I don't know, probably not.
No, we'll have a little festiveness. Last week on the show, we had a guest on that had everybody talking, and that was Ben Perrin. He is the author of the book Overdose, and he's also a criminal law prof at UBC, and he is all in favor of a regulated, safe supply of drugs.
It was a fascinating conversation, really, and it turned a lot of our viewers into thinking a different way or coming from a different perspective. Our email inboxes, what we're saying is it got full.
Yeah, this is Maureen. She said, your guests are super. Professor Perrin opened my eyes on the subject of safe supply. Thank you for presenting your viewers with important topics.
Thank you for watching, Maureen.
But this is what Lila said.
Lila says, I cannot believe as a parent this speaker is promoting drugs. It needs to stop. These young drug addicts in our streets need mental health, not safe heroin or other drugs. We're making the drug companies rich. Thank you for watching, and thank you for emailing us.
And then Sarah in North Vancouver said, hey, the toxic drug supply is a health and social issue, not a crime issue. Preach! Addiction is not a choice. We need to treat people with substance abuse with compassion. Thanks, Ben Perrin. So that goes to my point that I don't see the politicians moving on this because there is not consensus. And they care about votes.
Totally. I agree with you on that. And I also think it's really important to point out that this is not a downtown East Side street homeless drug addiction problem. This is predominantly happening in bedroom communities when people are using alone for various reasons. So we just need to keep this conversation rolling because I don't think there's a clear answer or it would already be resolved.
Yeah, and again, I think too many people are like me going, I think I'm good with safe supply with guardrails. Maybe they only get it for a certain amount of time and then you have to go to rehab. That would be my preference, but I don't have a loved one who's addicted to anything. And I think that changes the way you think about safe supply.
Indeed. We got lots of conversations to be had today on the program and some guests lined up, but boy, we'll spark some convos and then you can fill up our inbox once again.
And we have a viewing party prize, which is from White Spot again.
100%. This is so fun. Linda and I were drooling over the Triple O burger in this photo last week, and we continue to do so here and now. $150 up for grabs, yes, at White Spot. Thank you to White Spot for that.
And thank you for sending in photos where we can see your face, because then we can connect with you. And this is how you send the photos, viewing party at chekmedia.ca.
Right. And one of the people who sent in a viewing party photos early days is actually a guest on our show because Sarah Daniels has sent in a viewing party photos. She's a viewer and a guest.
You could be a guest on the show as well. Sarah's going to be talking about all the new housing legislation. There is a housing crisis. The EB government's trying to solve it. Some people aren't so sure that the legislation they're bringing in is not going to create a bigger problem. Yeah. Sarah's on the ground working with buyers and sellers, so she's going to tell us what she thinks and what she's seeing.
Yeah, from short-term rentals to speculation tax and looking forward with the rise in interest rates and mortgages coming due 2024. What does that look like?
Hoping interest rates are going that way now.
Oh, you and me and so many people watching right now. One thing that we all have in common other than taxes, death. And it's a tough topic to weigh into.
And so a Canadian documentary producer has come out with this documentary that has been getting huge buzz right across the country in theaters called After Death. Here's just a sample of some of the experiences that they learned about with people who have had near-death experiences.
But not every near-death experience is a good one. 23% had hellish experiences.
I saw a black tunnel. I mean, just falling. I wasn't in fear. I was in terror.
That's the part of the trailer, Linda. You sent me the trailer initially, and I was just like, first it's like seeing light and seeing family members, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is so cool. And then that part, I am dying to see.
So regardless of whether you're religious or if you're someone who says, what's the science behind this? We're going to talk to the documentary producer coming up. His name is Stephen Gray from Winnipeg.
So stay tuned. We got great guests. We also have time for Yes, polling. Let's dive into this as crazy numbers.
Okay, I saw this poll online today and it went poof. roof. So Nanos, which is a legit pollster, has come out with these new numbers showing, not as surprisingly, the Conservatives with even a bigger lead. But look at the Liberals tied with the NDP at 22% support. And I know the election is technically not until 2 years from now.
Right, technically.
But it could be earlier.
It could be. And there'd need to probably be a leadership race for the Liberals, I'm guessing.
Well, you would think that the Liberal Party and Justin Trudeau are looking at those numbers going, oh my gosh, we're tied with the NDP, and the NDP may be going, maybe we don't need that confidence agreement anymore.
Maybe we just do one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be wild. And then we'll be talking about who's the heir apparent for the Liberals. I know. Is it a Mark Carney? Is it a Chrystia Freeland? We have so much to talk about there. Hey, the plot thickens literally on an assassination attempt. This is big news.
Yeah, because you know that we talked about the assassination of Hardeep Nijjar. He is a Sikh activist in Surrey, pushing for a separate Sikh state, a Khalistani state. Well, when Trudeau first came out and said, oh, the Indian government knows something about who killed him, they were like, how dare you? Oh, and it turns out that apparently the Americans foiled an assassination plot connected to someone in the Indian government in the U.S. They plan to kill other people in Canada.
Wild. And an American citizen on U.S. soil, which the FBI takes fairly seriously, I would say. Update as well, we talked in weeks past about St. Paul's Hospital not allowing medical assistance in dying. That has changed.
I'm happy about this too, because St. Paul's is 100% publicly funded. Yes, they are a Catholic faith-based institution, but I do not think that publicly funded medical facilities should be allowed to say no to a legal medical procedure like MAiD because they say, well, it doesn't go along with our, our beliefs. Well, no one is saying anyone at St. Paul's has to administer MAiD. They're just now saying, the government, that they have to have a hallway connected to another building where patients can be transferred there, and somebody from Vancouver Coastal Health will deal with that.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Public dollars for legal medical assistance in dying. Period. Full stop. I also am interested by this opioid lawsuit trying to hold drug companies to account for the impacts of this. So a BC court is against pharma company to try and certify this opioid class action lawsuit. To what end, we're not sure.
We've already settled in BC for $150 million. It should have been $1.5 billion, in my opinion. And now BC is trying to organize and certify a class action. And I say go for it. Because if you've read any or watched any documentaries on the opioid crisis, they have a big role. They knew what was going on.
Yeah, and even got entire communities addicted in some instances to, fill up the coffers, which is
not
terrifying.
Okay. No. Hey, let's talk about the fact that we're in 'tis the season, not just for fancy sparkly blazers, but the tripledemic of RSV and COVID and what's the other one?
RSV,
pneumonia?
COVID, and pneumonia. Yeah, well, and this childhood pneumonia that's spreading around.
Right? Yeah. And so the doctors are saying, hey, be careful because we're starting to see some concerning signs. But check out this video in Beijing. This is of a hospital in Beijing that is loaded to the rafters of parents with sick kids who have pneumonia. And this is not normal. They're seeing this in other countries as well. So it's just something we don't really know what it means or
keep
why.
Our eye on it. Because it might. The hope is, and the Hotezes, the Professor Peter Hotezes of the world are saying it's not a novel virus. This might be because of the lockdown. And the kids just have immune systems that have seen nothing for so long. But we're starting to see it with the Netherlands, and then there's something going on in Ohio.
Other countries that, you know, were not locked down as long.
Totally. So it's scary, and we're going to keep our eye on it for you. So stay tuned on that.
And because we're really just days away from Christmas, here's something you could put in someone's stocking if you don't like them.
Oh, man.
Clam candy canes.
Gross.
Why don't get that? That's so disgusting. Last year, well, what was it? Broccoli? No.
Caesar salad. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Clams, I don't like clams anyway, especially not in candy.
Okay, later in the show, we're going to make it fun because Sarah Daniels is going to be here. She's always a good time and brilliant. She's talking speculation tax expansion, short-term rentals, et cetera, et cetera.
Also ahead, from no more pap tests, hurrah, to a former broadcaster's warning about shingles. Get your shots, people.
Yes, we are going to hear from Tamara Stanners. You might remember Tamara Stanners, longtime broadcaster. And we also have some fun for you. Again, our viewing party in full effect. A $150 gift card from White Spot on the table. Someone's going to win it. Adele in New West. It could be you.
Ben and Toby in Seashell. Hello.
Hello. Oh, look at Toby. and Bob and Glenda in Richmond. Hello there.
And also Bonnie and Chilliwack. Thanks for watching.